Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome back to In Good Company, where real entrepreneurs share real growth stories. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it. So you are a local Louisvillian? Is that it?
Uh, I guess I'm not local because I've only been here for 2 years, but I live here now
Oh, yeah.
and I love it.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
guess we'll probably be here for a while. So I will call myself a local now.
Well, that was obviously a good call because I love Louisville. But as a newer Louisvillian, which I think I made that up.
I love
What
it
do you like?
though.
What do you like about it? What has been kind of different from where you came from?
So to be completely honest, I am in sobriety. So I was in Indianapolis for about 20 years and, just having being sick there, being in active addiction there, and finally being able to start in a new place where like no one really knows that old me and I could just be 100% me because whenever you are in active addiction, you're really not yourself. Um,
Sure.
so the
Yeah.
disease definitely takes over. But now that I'm in Louisville, I do so many amazing things within the community. Um, I think For Lady's Sake was actually on your podcast last week. We just hosted a
Yeah.
period drive for them, which was really
Oh,
awesome. And then we did a period packing
love that.
party.
Cool.
So just doing a lot of things to give back to the
Yeah.
community. And then also the fun part, like Nulu is amazing. Women Owned Wallet is
Hmm.
amazing. Actually at her Galentine's event this year, I met Leah Bomar, who is the starter of Glitter Bomb Books and Glitter Bomb
Cool.
Retreats. And she published my poetry, which was really funny because during the new year, me and my husband were like writing out our goals, like five,
Yeah,
10
that's usually
year.
fun.
And I
Hmm.
was like, 10 years, maybe in 10 years I can get my poetry published. And then literally within like 2 months, I met this lady and she was
Mm.
like, hey, I want to publish your poetry in a book with a bunch of other amazing poets. So that opened up such a big door.
Uh,
So really just this year, like my
yeah,
life has
I
been
love that.
fulfilled and just been like on the right track.
Well, more than on the right track. Definitely hitting goals that you put as your 10-year, which is amazing. I remember we moved from Georgia to here in 2018. I remember feeling like Louisville was, I know how cheesy this sounds, but like the land of opportunity. Um, and I don't even think it's necessarily because it's Louisville specifically, but exactly what you said, that sometimes getting out of the place the place you either grew up in or the place you felt somewhat comfortable in, and then going to a completely new place can be scary, but also the best thing you can do for yourself. You can learn, you can learn about yourself. It forces you to put yourself out there. And for you, just meeting all of these women in business has completely kind of changed your life, literally changed your 5, 10 year dream. So I love hearing stuff like that. Louisville is a hot spot for women owned business owners. So when you moved here 2 years ago and had to start all the way over, which is, do not minimize how scary that is. Um, and how stressful, right? Like it's not just, oh, I don't know anybody. It's like, who's gonna help do my hair? Who's my new nail lady? Like who's my new this lady? Like where do I go grocery shopping? It's overwhelming sometimes. But you did it, you're here, you guess you're staying, is what you said, which I love. It's so like non-committal, but it's still mysterious. It's like, she'll say
I mean,
maybe
I
she
might
won't.
move. If we hit the lottery or if I get
Maybe.
really good in business, I might get like a second house somewhere. Like Washington State would be
Love that.
beautiful. But my
Oh yeah.
husband's born and raised, so he loves this city.
Yeah, you're in it to win it. So now that you've been in Louisville for a little while, you've surrounded yourself with really cool people. I love Candace Serena, um, at For Lady's Sake. So I love that you're connected with them. That's so cool. What what have you been up to lately? You've been here 2 years. People say 2 years is enough to feel connected somewhere. So what have you been up to lately? What have you been getting your hands dirty with, if you will?
So I really started Abby Does It about a year ago in May. So around May 17th was my year mark. And when I first started Abby Does It, I just like knew I didn't want to work for someone else. I just really wanted to work for myself. And then I'm like, what am I good at? Okay, I'm good at all these things. So I was like doing childcare, elder care, because I was doing hospice volunteer. So like
Mm-hmm.
non-medical respite, like sitting with people, providing genuine conversation, but not like doing the medical side of things.
Sure, sure.
Pet care, cleaning, organizing. Like I was just trying to do it
Yeah.
all. And then I realized,
Oh yeah.
okay, what do I like to actually do? Like what is up more of a purpose? So then I
Yeah.
started getting into volunteer work has always been a really, really big thing in my recovery. That's where I started with the hospice. And then I found Helping Evolve Recovery. And then I found
Mhm.
Open Door Community Outreach. And then I found CRC Pause Cause. I guess I found CRC Pause Cause before Open Door, but the order doesn't matter. They're all amazing
Right.
organizations that do great things for the
Yep.
community. And I just started like pouring myself into that, meeting, like basically stalking my tattoo artist. Not really stalking, but I was like, I need
Well,
friends. I need connection. So I just kept on booking
yeah.
appointments and I was like, I love this lady. Like she helps with animals. She is a survivor. She's resilient. Like these are the women I want to be around. And now we're kind of planning a women's retreat and doing that together.
Fun.
And like I'm connected in so many different groups and I feel so loved and valued. And it's, I don't know, like coming here has completely changed my life for the better. Like my partner just has helped me a lot, like with emotional regulation and just being grateful and not, accepting our life. Like, we could always have more money. We could always want this and that. But at the end of the day, I'm so happy and grateful for what we have and what we built and what we're continuing to grow upon.
I love that. It sounds like every multi-passionate entrepreneur story. I'm gonna be honest, and you don't even realize that. So if you're a multi-passionate person, you have so many things that when people say, "What are you good at?" and you're like, I mean, everything, a lot of things, and you want to have all these different kinds of businesses. Sounds like you took all of these talents and said, what do they all have in common? When I hear them, I hear you want to help take care of people. You want to make people, animals feel good when they need it most. And then you started pouring into organizations and they started pouring into you. So that must have felt a little vulnerable as someone that's always taking care of other people, or not always, but you have this thing inside you that says take care of other people and animals. You reach out to
Yes.
organizations, they start pouring into you. Then you suddenly realize, I want to start a business. And it's not suddenly, I don't mean to minimize that, but you say, I want to start a business. So Abby does it all. What does that mean? What is Abby doing now?
So Abby right now is I'm really trying to network more and to get out there and to get more clientele. That is a big thing for me right now. I want to write brand. That's what I've been saying instead of rebrand. And focus more
Yeah.
on life coaching and then adding like the umbrellas of creative, planning, thriving, and
Mhm.
and then I want to also do support groups. Me and my friend Meredith White, she brings the light. I love her so much.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
and
Hey,
her
Meredith.
want to
Cool.
do okay, cool. We want to do some
I was,
support groups together. Just keep on staying involved in the non for
mhm.
profits and things that I'm going for. But I also have this group called Lemonade 502, and it's a resource group. And I'm really trying to get it to grow so people can add like resources within Louisville that, so no gatekeeping here. Like I want everyone to have
Mm-hmm.
access to where they can get dog food when they need it, because you never know when you're going to need it. Help with
Mm-hmm.
child clothing, or even food pantries, or even
Yeah.
just like, hey, I need help with a resume. And then also people
Mm.
sharing their businesses, sharing what they can do to help people, just kind of making it a hub for all the resources in
Mm-hmm.
Louisville, instead of like, oh, you have to pay me $35 to be in my resource book.
Yeah.
Like no one should have to pay to get like put their resource out there and to get a
Right.
resource.
Yeah.
So I'm really
I
trying to
love that.
make that happen. Hopefully I could turn it to a directory and that, you know.
Mhm.
But
Like
first
the
the
yellow
Facebook
pages.
group, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Is that had to anything to do with why it's lemonade, or did I just make that connection because I'm older?
Um no, I like turning your lemons into rainbows. So kind of like the turning lemons into lemonade term,
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's the lemon. I don't know if you can see it. I have a little business card here. It's kind of bright on my screen, but it's a little lemon and it has rainbow shoes. It's really cute.
Oh,
Um, as
okay.
someone
Well,
who's
sweet talk.
LGBTQ, a part of that community and very like for inclusion for all, I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to add a little touch of color in it.
Little sprinkle.
Yeah.
I love that. Sorry, non-yellow page situation. This is way cooler than the yellow pages. So this is a very modern, very hip resource situation for everybody. We're not gatekeeping, and you don't have to pay to get a resource. I love that. Sometimes it can be deterring when you have to pay to get information. So people just don't ask and then they feel lost or the situation gets worse. So I love that your group is kind of taking away that obstacle. Sometimes people don't have $35. They just don't. Sometimes people don't have that, what you might consider pocket change to have access to information. So I love
Or
that
even
you're doing
businesses
that.
that are
When
just
you
starting out, or non-for-profits, like
Mhm.
why should they have to pay to get their information out there? I just don't think it's
Yeah,
right.
when they have $0, like they have $0. It's like, what's the budget? Zero. Like we're
And I
just
want
trying
to
to do
teach
something good.
people like with this resource group, I want them, like they have to go through, find the information, like teach a man how to fish, they can feed themselves, right? So with this resource group, they're also learning that they can do the research. And I also want to like teach people how to, find resources in their area. Like
Yeah,
some people just don't even know how to like Google or like
yeah.
use the
Where do we
resources
start?
around them.
Hmm. Yeah, and it shouldn't be exclusive or a privilege to be able to find resources, but sometimes it is. We take it for granted. So I love that you're doing that. That you very casually mentioned your life coaching situation. Um, I have personally worked with coaches before. I always recommend people, whatever stage in their business they are, if they can afford it, to hire a coach. It can change your business. It can change your finances. I've worked with good ones, I've worked with mediocre, and I've worked with bad ones. So, for all different kinds of reasons. So, when you talk about your life coaching, what's your, maybe this is the wrong term, but ideal client or your client avatar or the people that you feel like you work best with?
People that are ready to change and ready to accept that there's something that's holding them back, that's not making them happy, that they're not living
Hmm.
at their ultimate. Because if you can't see that and you don't know, you're just like, I'm depressed, I hate my life, da 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 da.
Hmm.
But you don't
Yeah.
see that you need to change, or that there's steps that you need to take to do
Sure.
that. It's hard. It's really hard to coach someone that is just not ready to accept that there is dedication, there is hard work that is put into
Yeah.
changing. Um, you can't keep on doing the same things and expect new results.
Yeah. That's, I think, called insanity. So 100%. Um, So people that are ready to make a change, do you have, what kind of makes it different to work with you? Again, with the coaches I've had, they have different, I think they call them pillars or different phases. And I always picked a coach based on vibes and what they, kind of promise would happen. So when someone comes to you, what are some of the maybe foundational pieces or pillars that they can expect with you? Some changes or phases?
So the first thing is a consultation, right? Like I want to get to know you. I want to know your dreams. I want to know your ambitions. I want to meet you where you're at. I've helped hoarder clients. I've helped, an esthetician just dealing with business issues. I've helped family and like friends
Yeah.
and just always guiding and trying to make sure that they also are looking at other people's approaches and
Hmm.
just having an open mind basically about
Yeah.
the whole situation and not just like living in that ego thought. I'm
Yeah.
really big on consciousness, like your mindset, negative thoughts, so I'm more of
Yeah.
a holistic, spiritual, but if you speak about evil things all the time and like, if you're just so caught up in the negative of the world, you're gonna see that's all you're gonna see. So once you start
Mhm.
shifting that mindset change, um, so like the first would be the consultation and then going into like what they need, right? Like what do you
Mhm.
need someone to look at both comparisons and just sit down with you? Do you need me to come over and help you organize that ADHD pile that is just in your room that you have been putting off because you're so overwhelmed? So just kind of like that's why I'm saying like I'm a life coach that will also help you do things. Like I will come over when you
Mhm.
need me, help you take care of the kids so you can go out and get your nails done, but then also
Mhm.
sit with you and talk with you
Mhm.
and be there with you. Just
Yeah.
someone that you can rely on, but also not someone that's gonna be like an enabler, right? Like I'm gonna tell
Sure.
you what I think. You obviously hired me because you respect my thoughts and my judgment and
Right.
my life experience and my education. I have my master's degree in human services. I'm working on getting my HSBCP, which is Human Service Board Practitioner certification.
Okay.
So working on more things, and then I'm also working on my expressive arts. So I love to do like mindful arts and crafts, and I want people
Mhm.
to do inner child work as well as just like shedding trauma too, because I've been through a lot. So I want to show people that they don't have to be their diagnosis, that they don't have to be their past, that they don't have to live in shame and guilt. So that's kind of
Yeah.
my aspect of
Okay.
life coaching.
That makes okay. So Abby does it all is because you are not just saying we're gonna meet on a Zoom call or we're gonna have a phone call and you're just gonna pour your heart out. We're gonna cry a little bit and then you're gonna go on about your day. You're saying, you there is a I'm gonna summarize. There is a yearning, a need, I think, in today's society for genuine, authentic relationships. We kind of talked about it before we started recording that people don't trust people anymore, and people are nervous to open up to other people. They are scared to actually ask what what they need. And I kind of made a joke. I show up in my Dunder Mifflin shirt because this is who I am, and that's what you do. You are showing up in your own Dunder Mifflin uniform, whatever
Yeah.
that looks like, and saying, "How can I help you?" Face to face. And sometimes that's what it is. It's hard to be in 100% vulnerable, 100% open with someone that you have not laid your eyes on in person. Sometimes you're embarrassed to say, "I have the ADHD pile in the corner." And maybe I wouldn't tell someone that until I see them face to face and we're sitting on a couch together and we're talking about the most vulnerable things in our life. I might then say, "Hey, Abby, I have this thing in my room. It's kind of ruining my life." And then you can help them take care of that. And I love that. Female friendships as an adult Shoo. That is one of the hardest hardest parts about being a woman-owned business owner is having genuine, authentic connections and friends. So you are saying you're gonna help with all of that. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I had people show up for me when I needed it the most. My best friend, Kat,
Mm,
she showed up at my door with my mom and my stepdad. They begged me to go into treatment. That's whenever I changed my
mhm,
life, November 10th, 2022. And it was something that a lot of people don't have. They don't have
sure.
someone that will come over and clean your house for you when you're super depressed. They don't have
Yeah.
someone that will show up for them, and they're just stuck with it all. And then it's generational, right? Um, I'm obviously not going to name names, but the one hoarder situation that I worked with, it was generational, through the mom to the
Mhm.
daughter to. And that's hard. How can you help your family whenever it's generational, right? We're all stuck in these cycles. And I have generational, abuse through my family. And we have to end that cycle. And I want to help people understand that there is people out there that do care and want to help you. And it's been hard for me because I do a lot of cheaper to no pay work, and I really need to start charging, which it's hard for me to charge people because I just want to do it for free. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, well, that's not really a business if we're just helping people.
We're just friends. Yes. Love that.
But
That's so
yes, so
hard. You want to help people.
it's hard. And like people say I'm crazy and I do too much and whatever. But at the end of the day, I sleep so great with my head on that pillow and I love myself. I'm just going to keep on trying. And I know like I will start finding the right clientele that will want to pay for my services and will see the genuine and the hard work that I do put into everyday life, that they're going to be like, you know what? I want
Yeah.
someone like that behind me to coach me
Well,
to
you're building
do the
your
same.
sales team right now. You're building your word of mouth. You're building your referrals. All those people that you're doing things for right now, that should be paying you, but you're like, not yet. They should be leaving you Google reviews. They should be leaving you Facebook reviews. They should be talking about you to everyone they know, and that's your building stage. So I say that, and I kind of laugh because I know how hard it is to charge people for something that you, number one, love doing, and number two, you feel like I just want to help. It is so hard when you see someone in need, and you just want to help, but then at the end of the day, you feel like, well, I have to charge, or I don't have a business. It's more than just I love doing this. It's I have to be able to pay my own bills, and I relate very hard as a person that started a business and would take whatever people would pay me in the beginning. Now, fast forward to today, there's no way I could have the same kind of pricing as I did years ago, or I wouldn't be able to pay other people to do it. So, those people that are doing the thing right now that you're doing for free, those should become your raving cheerleaders.
And they are. I try to go to like events and do booths and I'll do like an hour free
Mhm.
service and like a giveaway and I'm like trying to get myself out
Yeah.
there and that's all I can do and that's all I'm going to keep on doing and I'm not going to give up on myself
Well, yeah.
because
No.
you never give up when things get tough. You just keep going. And then you're like, "Oh my gosh, how
Yes.
did I get here? This is amazing." So,
I love that. I love that. And it sounds like you have a very supportive partner, which is so nice. Makes the world of difference. So you were telling me that you're a very supportive partner. The reason you moved to Louisville, thank you, partner, came up with the name. So tell me about that. He saw the vision before you did, correct?
he was like, "Well, you're so great with,"
Yeah.
because I was the youth program manager. I mean, I've
Mhm.
worked in shelters. I was a dog sitter off Rover. I basically, done pretty much any job. Like I substitute teach right now for moderate to severe
Hmm.
disabilities. And like I work with people with disabilities. I work with people in addiction. I do creative arts. I just do a lot of different things. And
Yeah.
he's like, you do it all. Like, just do it. Like, get out there. And it's been hard because I feel like I've been like rebranding and rebranding. I want to right brand and start, pouring back into myself
Yeah.
like I have been pouring into the community. And sometimes we do get caught
Yeah.
up in the outside life, right? Because there's so many problems to fix, so many things that need help. Like I have to remind
Hmm.
myself I can't do it all. And you do have to take care of yourself at the end of the day because
Right.
no one is going to take care of you. And that's the one thing I preach to my clients is
Yeah.
you put you first. Like, and I might get some backlash for this, but like even moms, even parent, like wives, fathers, like you put you first because then you're showing your kids to put themselves first too. And not saying like neglect them, but like show them like, hey, mommy needs a self-care day. Mommy's having a mental load. Like you need to respect mommy instead of just burning yourself out on this endless,
Yeah.
spin wheel. Um, Sorry to call my
Right.
sister out, but she thinks she's superwoman and she can do it all and they can be in all the sports and do it all. And she has 4 kids. Girl, there's only 2 of you. How are you going to split yourselves into
Right.
like sometimes we have to make
Yeah.
sacrifices for our own sanity and we can't
Yeah.
do it all.
100%. And it's hard to say no sometimes. And so if you become a yes man, yes woman, your plate becomes fuller than you can handle. And I think there's this expectation, underlying expectation right now with parents and people just in society right now is you have to stay busy. You have to have multiple moving parts in your life at all times. And so if you're a parent, that means sports, that means um, being involved in school. That could mean, oh, you have to go to some kind of church or you have to go to some kind of group and you have to plug in. And, we joked at the beginning of this podcast, it's okay to like sleeping. Like, it's okay to like resting. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a shameful thing when you pour yourself into a lot of other things throughout the week. So I love that you're saying that. Put you first. It's not selfish, it's self care. And that is, I think, a message a lot of people should take away from
Yeah.
this. It's not shameful. You have to pour into yourself to be able to pour into others. You can't pour from an empty cup. All those cheesy sayings, they are true.
Yeah,
Um,
especially whenever you have, a friend needing you, a family member needing you, and like so many things
right.
coming at you. And then you have your own mental load and your mental plate. It's okay to be like, hey, I can't deal with this today. I'll touch back with you in a couple days. Like, it's okay. And it's okay to be told that. Like, I want people to receive rejection a little better too, because I used to not be able to, as someone who felt like my love is in the quality of what I do, right? Like that's my worth, like what you were touching on. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really not. It's not about what you do. It's how you talk to people, how you think about yourself. Talk to yourself
Mm-hmm.
like you would talk to that young, amazing little kid that you just think is so bright and be kind to yourself. Be kind to
Yeah.
others, and then things around you, like slow down, watch butterflies, watch the birds, like be in the moment
Yeah.
because that's all we have. And people are so caught up, especially with the internet and social media, and feeling like half those social influencers get that stuff for free and they have to give it back. Or like those trips, they're so miserable on their body image that they can't even have fun. Like it's a
Yeah.
two-way mirror that you're not seeing the other side.
Yeah, it's a good reminder, I think, for people that are heavily influenced by the perception of others today. And I have a really important person in my life that, you know, had gone to rehab a few times, and I remember I could really tell they were changed or changing or really working on themselves, because one of their favorite hobbies became just going for walks. They were never like a walking person. I mean, that sounds weird because everybody walks. They weren't someone that enjoyed walks. They were someone with they had a very busy mind. They struggled with addiction and, struggled with a lot. But walks became like their prayer time, like their meditation time. And I think that in a world that's constantly moving, that the slower you can put intentional time, the better off you can be. And so I love that you are just pouring that message out there. I don't think people hear it enough. People have this expectation to go out there and be the best and do all the things, and, yes, queen slay, and no, queen take care of yourself, and no, be the best mom you
Yeah.
can be, and no, be the best business owner. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, this is
Yeah.
so unrealistic.
It's like
So
no days
love
off,
that.
work hard, be
Right.
motivated. This is what success is. And then it's like, mm, actually,
I don't love
success
that.
is being happy and loving yourself and being okay with where you are in life, because that's what you have. Your experience is your experience.
Yeah. I love that. I'm always like, Kabosh, take a nap. Like, I will grind and I will hustle, but then I'm like, Abby, I'm gonna go take a nap because it's my happy time. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that stuff and being so vulnerable. I think people should take away how you can be vulnerable and it's okay. You're gonna be okay. And people need to find their person. So if people want to find their person with you, Abby, what are some ways that they can reach out to you? Just to connect, and not only to see if they're a good fit for you, but to see if you're a good fit for them to work with you.
Yeah. So I'm on Facebook. Abby does it. And then I have my group Lemonade 502. I also have another group called Lotus Rebellion, trying to do like a more expressive art group with that.
Hey,
And then I have my
cool.
TikTok, Abby does it. I have my Instagram, Abby does it. And then you can find me at email, Abby does it 502 at gmail.com. And then you can always reach out to me at 502-385-8015. That is my business and personal number. And obviously, since I am such a busy person, it
Cool.
may, 24 hours, maybe like I'm only one woman. But I try, if it
Yeah.
is an emergency, I will try to reach out as soon as I can. But
Mhm.
I try to stay
Cool.
as open, and I try to message at least at like in the evenings back. So
Yeah. Right. Well, have some boundaries for yourself too, and that's okay. So if someone reaches out to you on all the major social media platforms, they can send you an email, they can send you a text. You're gonna start with a consultation, see if you're a good fit. I encourage everyone to go into the group Lemonade 502, um, especially the Louisville locals. That's a big part of our audience on this show is Louisville natives. And let's just keep reaching out and keep helping people. When you helped people become better, then those better people also turn around and help people. So it is
yeah.
a beautiful cycle that we can keep going. Abby, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your stories and your business. I can't wait for people to hear this and to start getting that help that they might not even know that they need, and start becoming better people.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I really just want people to know that honesty is the best policy, and being you is the best thing that you could be for yourself. You shouldn't have any shame, guilt, because we all make mistakes and we all do things that we're not proud of. But if we can wake up and try again and try to be a better person the next day, then you're doing it right.
If I could do it all over again, there'd be no wish I would, should have been. Spend more time with my family and friends. If I could do it all over again.